Hey there, Seahawks. This is Miss Adams, and in this video, we're going to talk about comparing distributions. When you're comparing distributions, you want to try to comment on shape, unusual features, center, and spread. So an acronym you can use is SUCS. Shape, unusual features, center, and spread. And you want to try to use as much comparative language as possible. So words like smaller, longer, more, less, those types of things. Again, keep in mind that when you take your exam, your district EOC, it's going to be all multiple choice questions. So it'll be just like comparing, reading those statements and finding the best one. But if you take a stats course beyond this one, where you really have to explain it, you'll make sure you have a sentence on each of those things if there is something to mention. Compare the histograms of the temperatures taken in January 2018 for Portland and Minneapolis. All right, so I have two histograms, and I'm just going to write some things about how they are similar, how they are different, just comparing. So Minneapolis is skewed left and tends to have more colder days than Portland. Minneapolis has a much larger spread with a range of 27 degrees Celsius compared to a range of only 12 degrees Celsius for Portland. Okay, you can see that Minneapolis is spread across much wider than Portland, which is much tighter together. Portland has the most days with a temperature between 4 and 7 degrees Celsius. Okay, so for Portland, their peak was in the 4 to 7 range. That range of the histogram that had the tileless peak, compared to 1 to 4 degrees Celsius in Minneapolis. So the highest peak was between 1 and 4 degrees Celsius in Minneapolis. All right, the next example. At the Olympic Games, many events have several rounds of competition. One of these events is the men's 100-meter backstroke. The upper dot plot shows the times in seconds of the top 8 finishers in the final round of the 2012 Olympics. The lower dot plot shows the times of the same 8 swimmers, but in the semifinal round. Compare the distributions. All right, so keep in mind here that we want to have a lower time. A lower time would be better. Okay. So here's what I wrote just for comparing these two distributions. I said, there is more variation in time for the final round than the semifinal round. The mean time for the final round is 57.04 seconds, which is less than the mean time for the semifinal round, which is 57.36 seconds. Okay, I know it doesn't seem like much, but in Olympic games, those just fractions of a second make a huge difference. So you can see in the final round, there's a lot. It's more spread out from the lowest value to the highest value. Then in the semifinals, everything's kind of closer together. I calculated the mean by adding each value. I could read the numbers from the dot plot. I added them up, divided by how many numbers I had for each dot plot, and then just compared them. All right, go Seahawks.